Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for tuning back in. Here we are in another pick-a-card reading, and I have 4 charms here and 2 deck of cards. So we'll be doing 4 readings for our question today. And our question or our focus today is what blessings are coming your way. So we want to tune into the good that is on its way to us. We want to be open to it. We want to affirm our prosperity and just be overall welcome to the possibilities. So I would like us to focus on 4 different readings. I'm going to do 3x5s. I find them very, very helpful, but I might do something else depending on what I tune into. So the 4 charms that we've got for this reading today are first a lapis stone and also a cat's eye stone. And we have the lock and the feather charm. So as always, you'll find the timestamps in the description box. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to tune into this reading more or tune into the charms more for the reading, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, I am starting with a cat's eye group here. I've got the cat's eye stone on the side for this reading, and I've got my own silhouettes deck for it as well. So I'm going to do a 3x5, tuning into what are the blessings that are coming your way, cat's eye group. So tune into this reading, maybe focus on something that you want and see if it is resonated in the cards. It might give you a confirmation. Let's go right ahead and deal out those cards. Okay, cat's eye group, here is your 3x5, and I immediately have a feeling of what this is about, and it's really coming through the letter and the key as well as the scythe in the farthest corner here. What is coming your way, the blessing that is coming your way, is a solution, information that gives you the breakthrough, knowledge, some kind of insight. You get a flash insight. And I think this is very clear from the cards. It really stands out to me from the first card being the letter, being the card of information and news, and the key in the center of it all, which is about solutions. It's also about intelligence and insight. And with the scythe here, this is a breakthrough. So you're going to get the green light, the okay, you're going to get an acceptance, you're going to get some kind of access into whatever you're after, but there can be also a deeper level at play for you, and this can mean the deeper insight, the understanding, the figuring it out. That is very much a blessing that is coming your way. And when I look at the star in this pair of corner cards, I also feel that this message is very well supported. The key and the star is very much about wish fulfillment and the green light. And the ship here, which is about travel and movement, is also a card that suggests that you will get the direction that you're hoping for. There is like an opening, an opportunity that opens up for you, and it is exactly what you want, mainly because of the beautiful star, but also because of the beautiful key in the middle of your 3x5. And when we look at this 3x5 cat's eye group, there's lots of very beautiful cards. There's really very little challenge here. The coffin is really about patience. The fox can be clever, and we have beautiful cards like the clover as well, the child and the tree. So I'm seeing some very beautiful cards for you. What the blessing that is coming your way is the insight, the green light, the information, the whatever is that impetus that helps you move forward. So I also think you get your wish. So the answer that you want is going to come your way. So very, very beautiful cards. Let's get into the details of this 3x5. We've got the letter, mountain, child, and then the bear and star on the other side. The mountain and child can suggest a very important chapter that opens up for you, and perhaps one whose importance you do not see. And with the bear and star, you can look forward to shining and growing and maturing and really achieving some big ambitions. The bear makes everything big and important, and with the star, which is also an all-around big card, you're in for some major achievements. Now, with the letter at the outset, it is about getting this green light, this okay, this this message that opens up this opportunity. So definitely embrace this. And because of the child, especially since it's in the middle of the line, I feel this is an important time to embrace the new and embrace possibilities. Go after your big ambitions. You've got what it takes, and this time around you're going to get the green light to pursue them. So some major steps, major achievement is ahead for you. The tree, coffin, and key is an interesting combination that could suggest a closure. And the fox and tower can mean that it relates to an issue from the past. The fox can be a bit of a tricky card. It points to someone who is not necessarily 100% transparent, clever, possibly a trickster type. But when I see it next to the key and tower, and I also look at the portrait around the fox, I'm seeing some very beautiful cards. The scythe on the other side of the fox in this context, I feel, has to do with a breakthrough and not so much a trap or a problem or the issues that would normally be associated with the fox. Now, on the other side of the tree, coffin, and key, it can suggest an issue from the past that sort of itched you or annoyed you. It can also suggest someone from the past who is like that. But with these cards, you can look forward to closure, completion, and being able to close something off and move on from it. And like we said here, it could have been something that you've been dealing with over the long term. Now, another way we can look at this line is in terms of work. The fox can be associated with work, and with the tower, this can be brought up here. I wonder if in this case, the top row can suggest a promotion or something like that. With the tree, coffin, and key, you might have been really patient for something to come through. You've waited, and now with the key, you've got the green light and you're able to move forward. I would also suggest, Cat's Eye folks, that with the fox and tower, there might be someone that you need to consult. They could be someone specialized or a specialist, or someone who has some specific information that can help you. And with the key here, you might want to get their input on the situation so that you don't have to delay the evolution and the next steps anymore. So see if that's someone you can consult. Now, in the bottom row, we are seeing changes and breakthroughs as well. The breakthrough energy comes through the scythe, which is a very sharp card, and it brings a lot of swiftness and speed. We've got the ship and bird at the outset, which can point to a trip, and we have the lily and clover, which I feel points to a new chapter in your life that's going to be really, really important. And I really feel that now you've got the opportunity to embrace a direction and a path that is the one that you want. I really think that it affects your life on the long term. We see this in the lily, the tower, and also the mountain and child. So this is a big deal. And the tree can also point to the sense of, longevity and the long term. So this can very much mean that an opportunity opens up for you, or you get the breakthrough or the okay or the green light or the insight that pushes you forward into this wonderful new direction, and that has an important impact on your life longer term. Now, if you want to travel, if you have an opportunity to travel, I think that can be well starred through your cards. We've got a few indications. We've got the ship and bird, and we also have the mountain. And the scythe can mean that you sort of suddenly decide to make a change and go for it. So that is possible as well. But I think the key really is coming through this idea of a life change or a lifetime opportunity that really opens up a direction for you, and probably one whose importance you do not fully see yet at this stage. So these are some very good cards. Now, the lily can also point to work. It can be a card of career, and certainly in this case as well, the cards are very well supported, and they bring blessings for you on the job. Maybe you get a job opportunity like we saw on the top row. Maybe you get an opportunity to get promoted or to make a positive change that really affects your life and your direction moving forward. Let's now turn to the columns. We've got the letter, tree, and ship. This points to news that goes into something very wonderful. So the tree with the letter is very positive news, and one whose effects and whose impact really helps you grow. On top of that, we have the ship. So again, I'm seeing confirmation of this direction opening up for you, and that is probably the one that you've been wanting. And the mountain coffin and bird can mean that you'd been waiting, or there was a time when things were frozen, but the bird is really a card of news. So like the letter on the beginning here at the top of your spread and the key on the other side of the coffin, there is news that comes through after a while. We saw this also in the central row here. So hang tight, it is unfolding, it is coming your way. And when it does, it's certainly going to give you that impetus and that momentum to move forward. Very clear in the central column here. Of course, the central column and the central row are important because they create the crosses and the diamonds of the 3x5. And the child key and lily is very much an important breakthrough, an important new beginning, and clearly the idea of solutions and some kind of thrust forward. So some very important opportunities are being unlocked for you. This is a new beginning because of the child, and it does impact your life as a whole. So this can mean a new chapter altogether, which very much works with what we saw at the top. Solutions, wish fulfillment, all are in the cards. Now the bear, fox, and clover can suggest this idea of a promotion like we suggested a few times. And it can suggest competition. So if it does suggest a bit of a challenge, we've got the clover to reassure us that you're going to be up to this, you're going to be able to meet it, and also that you're in a position of power and influence. So you've got the green light and you've got the advantage. Take advantage of this and embrace this wonderful opportunity. The star, tower, and scythe suggests to me that you're able to heal the past and you're able to release yourself from the past. So I think this works well with what we saw in the second row, and it's certainly a beautiful message in and of itself. There is an idea through the scythe and tower that you're able to make a radical change, either from the past or perhaps the phase that you've been in. In all cases, we are seeing wish fulfillment and hopes and dreams materializing through the star and the various other cards and the various other combinations in your 3x5. So it's clearly an opportunity to make a change. And I think because of the scythe and tower, and really the scythe on its own and in most combinations, the change can be pretty deep, it can be pretty radical, and it certainly changes your life to a great extent. Like we said in the top row, this can be something whose impact, whose full implications might not yet be clear or might not yet appear to you, Cat's Eye Group. But in all cases, what the blessing that is coming your way is the unlocking of potential, the green light, the opportunity to move forward. And I would also say wish fulfillment and very positive changes. They can be really big changes. They can affect your life in a deep way. But in all cases, they are welcome changes. So these are some pretty exciting messages in terms of what blessings are coming to you, Cat's Eye Group. I can look at a couple more indications here. I'm attracted to the diamonds. We've got the coffin next to the child, so very clearly an indication of a chapter closing and a new one beginning. And with the fox and lily, this can point to a job. So the job element is well captured by the cards. So for many of you, this might be the area where you see this blessing materialize. It can mean a job change. It's very likely a job change, and it is definitely a welcome one. But it can be other changes as well. We've got the tree, child, tower, and lily. This is a beautiful set of cards for your life and the long term. Each of the tree, lily, and tower is a long-term kind of card, implying your life as a whole, life chapters, big phases in life, as opposed to day-to-day matters. And with the child here, we are definitely looking at a new chapter coming for you, Cat's Eye Group, and I think this can be really exciting. So it is time for a life change. It is time for a new chapter. It is time to let go of the way things have been and really embrace this new beginning, Cat's Eye Group. It is a phase in which you are very likely to be in a position to materialize your wishes on a big scale. So I wish for you to embrace this. I wish for you to have faith in your ability. We have some luck and destiny cards in here. Key, Clover, Tower, Star are all faith-oriented cards. So really embrace this and trust that your path is unfolding exactly as you want it to. Let me know how you like these thoughts and these ideas, Cat's Eye Group. I'm looking forward to your comments. These are beautiful messages as far as I'm concerned. I really am looking forward to your feedback. Until we meet again, as always, thank you so much for watching and take very good care of yourself. All right, Lock Group, here we are with your cards and your lovely charm. And let us get into what blessings are coming your way. I've got Titania's deck here, and I'm going to do another 3x5. I'm really resonating with this layout for many kinds of readings because it is so well balanced, I find. So let's go ahead and deal out your 3x5 and see what blessing is coming your way. Okay, Lock Group, this is really interesting. I know you're going to tell me the snake and the coffin. What is this about? Well, you know what I think? I think you're going to be privy to a secret. I think you're going to find something out, and I think this is the blessing that is coming your way. So the snake covers your top card. Often the top card, the first card of a portrait or an extended portrait, and even a grand tableau can offer you some key advice, and it can even cover you. So the snake comes really to your advantage in this position, and it tells us that you are going to be privy to a secret. It's also a really good card for everything related to diplomacy and being smart with a roundabout way, you know, just really being able to navigate things in this indirect way. Now, why do I say that I think you're going to be privy to a secret? Well, it's really this combination here that stands out to me. We also have the letter and bird, and we have the flowers. So the flowers is an all-around positive card, and it's right in the middle of your 3x5. So I think you're going to come across some very interesting information. We have information cards, and I feel that there is this secret element, not only because of the snake, but also the book and also the mountain, which is a card that sort of freezes things. And the tower is also along the lines of this, things being separate and up, isolated. And we have the coffin. So I really feel that you could be privy to a secret and you're going to find something out. So this is lovely. Now the flowers and the coffin, so just looking at this, the two corner cards along with the flowers, the flowers is a card of success and wish fulfillment, and it's a beautiful card of happiness and joy. It's very warm in energy, and this is very opposite to the very cold energies of the snake and mountain. Now, before looking at the triplet, the snake and mountain together suggest getting around an obstacle. So this is not breaking through an obstacle, this is getting around an obstacle, the idea of going around something. Often it can mean going around someone's back. So again, I'm seeing that you're going to be privy to something here and you're going to find something out. And with the flowers, it is a card of success. So it's actually to your advantage. Now, it's also possible that you are able to see someone for who they are. Often the snake and flowers, at least in my dictionary, represents someone who flatters you without really meaning it. It's the type of person who just throws compliment just to sort of charm the birds of the trees. I have to say though, Lock Group, that you could be that person, and it might be something that you need to do in order to charm the birds of the trees. Now, if it's not you, if it is this person, someone else, because we do have another person in your cards, maybe you're able to figure them out. You're able to see through them. You're able to see through their intentions. And that is a major blessing because you're going to know how to deal with them moving forward. But I think the broader interpretation of you coming across a secret is really key. Now, the dog and child can point to new friendships, a new connection, a new relationship that comes your way is going to be supportive thanks to the flowers. And of course, we're going to read the details as well. And so there can be someone who comes into the picture and who changes the picture. And I think they could be the bearer of news. It's very possible. Now, let's get into the lines because this is a 3x5 that is, I feel, a little bit complex. So I think we're going to get the interesting stuff by reading the details and building them up. Top row, very interesting. Snake, garden, coffin, letter, and child. So the snake, garden, and coffin clearly points to the idea that there is a snake in the grass. And with the coffin here, it can be an environment that you need to avoid. Avoid it, okay? It looks like there's trouble in here. Or it can be less dramatic and suggest that you're moving away from a certain environment. And the letter and child can mean that you announce that you're moving on to something new. Now, of course, this can figure in any area of your life. Maybe you're moving jobs, maybe you're changing groups, or you're moving into a different social environment. That can be the case. But what we're seeing here is that you're moving away from a certain environment and into a new beginning. So there is this announcement here of something new. The child, book, and mountain points to an important new chapter coming your way, Lock Group. The mountain and child is a specific combination that suggests an important chapter, and one that is important to the point that you don't really see everything about it just yet. So the implications of this chapter are still in the making. And on top of that, we have the book, which is the card of secrets and of knowledge, and usually things that are closed off. So there's a bit of a mystery here, but the blessing is that you are privy to that mystery, and I think that is really exciting. I would add, Lock Group, that from this column and others, probably this one as well, the top row, you want to keep the secret to yourself. Okay, so no sharing this. And the snake, garden, and coffin can add to this idea. You do not want to share this information with people. The garden is the card of community, society, groups of people. So it's very clear what the message is, okay? And with the letter and child, maybe you're making a decision about making a change or going into a different direction. But again, it is not the time to share it, okay? I would say, Lock Group, the blessing can be the blessing of secrets and silence. Very interesting. Let's look at the second row. We have the woman, tower, flowers, bird, and book. Well, she's the one who shares the news now, isn't it? The woman and tower can refer to someone you've known a long time. She could be someone from the past. She could also be someone older, or possibly someone who is in a senior position. The tower can be all of these characteristics. The flowers means someone returns, and the bird and book is a combination of news and information. So it's very straightforward from this row what is being said, and that is that this woman comes back into the picture to share with you this information. So it's coming from this woman. Now, bottom row. Dog, ship, rider, heart, and mountain. Now, I really think the possibility of travel comes through these cards. We've got 3 cards of travel. We've got the ship, rider, and mountain. And on top of that, we have the dog and heart. So this can be some good times coming your way, Lock Group. Maybe you have an opportunity to travel, to go somewhere, to explore some places. And if it's not another country, it can mean some trips here and there, maybe nearby, some fun activities with friends and people. There's lots of opportunity here to reach out, to get in touch, and to do fun things, and definitely to explore. The dog and heart emphasize friendships as opposed to romance. So if you're thinking romance, these cards are not really talking about that. It's really more about friends, possibly colleagues on the job, maybe siblings. You know, the dog is really about people on your level, people in your peer group. So this is what is highlighted here. Now, how does it connect with the top row? Well, I feel maybe this woman is this friend in here as well. Maybe she's come back from a place, maybe she was away. And it is also an invitation to explore different people. Remember at the top, we saw that you are moving away from a certain environment here and moving into a new one because of the child. So we see in the bottom row that if that's what you're exploring, you can meet some fun new people, and this can work out really well for you. Now, how might this tune into this secret that you're privy to? Well, maybe you find out something about certain people and this makes you want to change away from them. I still think you want to keep this under your hat, lock group, and move away calmly. I'm not seeing confrontation cards. There's no challenge cards. It is a very peaceful kind of 3x5, what we're seeing for you here. You're just privy to some information, and based on this information, you're going to be able to turn things around. In the process, you move away from certain people and you embrace new relationships. It can be this one relationship, or it can be more than one, like involving groups and stuff. Now, I have to say that this can apply, or these ideas can apply in another sense in your life, like on the job. Perhaps someone comes into the picture or comes back into the picture, offers you a job, and you're like, this is great. I want to embrace this. It's just that shifting away from my current situation is going to require some patience, and maybe that's what you're waiting for, the right time to announce this new beginning. This too is possible. So I'm giving you this dynamic, and you can assimilate this dynamic into your circumstances based on your specifics. Let's move on to the columns. We've got the snake, woman, and dog. Now, obviously, this is a very interesting combination because the snake with people cards tends to be really tricky. Now, the snake often points to a third party in a love relationship, and it often points to someone who's toxic. But because the snake is your cover card, I'm not so sure this is what we're getting from this column. Instead, I feel this is more about the secret that you share with this person. The garden, tower, and ship is an exciting triplet for exploring new places, and it can also mean going back to a place from the past. I feel this ties into this woman coming back into the picture. Perhaps you're going back to that place and there's an opportunity to meet with her. All of these are possible. It's also possible that there is an opportunity for growth and promotion. The tower is about elevation, and it tends to be associated with management when it comes to the job. So that is a possibility. And the ship is really good with business activity, trade. It's really good with money. It points to returns on investments. So you can look forward to rewards and effort bearing fruit and things like that. Now, I don't think this is very much aligned with what we're seeing, but it could somehow connect to what's going on in these ways. Now, the coffin, flowers, and rider is very clearly a combination of something coming back. Something was away and it comes back. The flowers and rider is very positive. It answers a wish. It's good news. It's a helpful person, and it does bring happiness with it, mainly because of the flowers. So just be patient. It's on its way back. Same thing here. More news cards. The letter, bird, and heart. Sometimes the bird and heart can cause a bit of anxiety, a bit of nervousness. But I think in the context of everything else, I think it's really a happier message. And the letter and bird is very clearly a combination of news. And with the heart, it's very likely good news. And we did read the last column here with the child and mountain, suggesting a very important beginning, probably one who's importance and whose full implications are still not clear. But again, I want to remind you that the book asks you to keep it closed. So there is news, there is good news. There is news that answers a wish that you're happy to hear, and that is the blessing. But there is a key piece of advice that is coming through your 3x5 log group, and that is that you want to keep it under your hat. You have to wait for the right time to share this news, to act on it, and that is going to be key for the success that is also in your cards. And with this person log group, be sure to be open to their connection. I have to say that even if it's a trickier person, supposing that the snake influenced this person in a negative way, which I don't think it does, but for the sake of scenario planning, if this person is negative, I think the key is really to be nice to them and to say nice things to them, to hear them out, to listen to what they have to say, and at the same time, not to share as much. So keep this idea of secrecy and discretion as priority through this 3x5 log group, because I really think this is a very strong and unique and special message that is coming through this 3x5. So with this person, be nice and diplomatic and do what you need to do to pull out that information from them. You're going to get there, and make sure you keep that under your hat until it's the right time. This is news and information that answers a wish. It is positive, it is supportive. It's just about navigating how you get it and what you do with it over the coming phase. But we do know that something very important is opening up for you, and that is really exciting, even if you don't have the full details yet, which most probably you don't. Just be patient for this transition and keep this under your hat no matter what until the right time. So some very curious cards I'm seeing here for you, log group. Let me know how you like them, what you make of them, how they're resonating with what you had in mind for this Pick-A-Card. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and your feedback. And until we meet again, thank you so much for tuning in, and take very good care of yourself. Okay, Lapis group, here we are with the deck and your lovely stone here, and we are focusing on the blessing that is coming your way. I am going to continue with the 3x5 portraits. I really like this layout. They have quite a good balance of cards. Of course, my deck is always shuffled between readings, and keep on tuning into this blessing that is coming your way, and we are good to deal out your cards. Okay, Lapis group, this is an interesting 3x5. I want you to notice the abundance of positive cards in it. I'm really not seeing any challenges, and it is really the coffin that might pass for a challenging card, but it actually just points to the ending here, especially in the context of the cards nearby. I really think that you are in for change. Change is in the cards through the stork as your first card, and the child and coffin, and certainly the coffin as one of the corner cards here. Now, the tree is not normally associated with changes. The tree in the center of your 3x5 is a card of peacefulness and calm, and it is very strongly rooted and grounded. But when I see it in the context of the cards around it, I think you could be in for a major change. And also the tree points to growth. So in any context, it's going to depend on the specific. On the job, for example, it can be a promotion financially, it could be a better income, it can be an enhancement of your position, of your situation. In general, it is a card of growth and health and well-being. I also think that the health element could be at play in your cards. We have all three health cards. We have the lily, tree, and coffin. And I feel that it comes out because of the tree in the middle and the coffin in a corner card pair here. And I think that with the stork, I feel like you're able to pick up your energy again. Maybe you've been feeling down, or you've been resting for some time, and now there's an opportunity to pick up again and to re-engage. But there is also a strong message of endings and phases, and things coming to a close in a natural kind of way and in a very, very positive way. The second pair of corner cards is the Sun and Rider, and this points to all around positive messages here. The Sun is an all around happy card, and it points to wish fulfillment and positive things materializing. With the Rider, it can be a messenger or some news, and it can also mean achieving goals. And I really think that works well with the other pair of corner cards, the idea of achievement, completion. Completion is coming through the stork and coffin. I like this word. I think it works with the blessing that is coming your way. So major goal achievement, successful goal achievement, and completion is happening here. So it's like you can move on from this. And this is where the change element comes through. Yes, I think this makes sense. It lands, it comes together, it has integrity. Awesome. Let's move into the rows here. We've got the Stork, Mountain, Lily, Child, and Rider. So the Lily and Child is very much a new chapter in your life, and the Stork and Mountain can mean a move of sorts. I have to say that it's possible that you move places. We do have the coffin next to the house, next to the ship, and at the bottom row here, it is like at the very bottom card. So you could be moving to a different place. You could change your life around. You can make lifestyle changes, and you can move places altogether. That is very, very possible through the top row. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be a physical move, but the idea of a deep change is very much captured in your cards. And I have to say, Lapis, that the lily and the tree, along with the house, you know, these are cards that are about your longer term kind of lifestyle. And it is not like a day-to-day thing. It's a bit deeper. It has to do with deeper changes in your life. So you can look forward to that. And I also think that there is a sense of new energy that comes into your life. It's like you're feeling refreshed. And again, this ties into what we suggested with the idea of not having felt well for a while, and that you're back into play. You regain your energy and your enthusiasm. So definitely a lot of momentum coming your way. We've got both the Stork and the Rider that bracket the line. They are active cards, and they help you move forward with new goals and a new direction and a new sense of purpose. So a very beautiful set of cards here. In the second row, another set of beautiful cards. We've got the Garden, Heart, Tree, and House, and the ship on the other side. So really, with the ship, it sort of offsets the whole line. It changes what the line would be about. Because if I didn't have the ship and I just looked at these four cards, I would have said, Lapis group, that you are feeling really good where you are. You are thriving where you are. You have a sense of home and groundedness. You know, the garden is about the place, and the house is about the place, and the heart and tree is growing beautifully within this place. So I think that this can point to your sense of community, your sense of belonging. Very much so, the idea of belonging. But the ship is really about change, and I have to say that it might be a time when you sort of change around a little bit. What is that niche or that small environment that you are part of? Perhaps you are searching to broaden that. Perhaps you're searching for a new kind of environment where you can feel at home, and you could be exploring options and going places. Now, it's also possible, maybe not so likely, that you travel in order to connect with a certain group of people. I have to say that's possible. But I think in view of the change element that is coming your way, which is very much a blessing, I think this is more about either broadening your niche or finding your niche, finding that sense of belonging. Very important, very important. Now, in the bottom row, we have strong cards for a relationship. We have both the sun and moon. This is about love. We have the ring, also about relationships. We also have the heart on top of the ring. So relationships are very possible. Now with the coffin, I have to wonder again, it sort of offsets the line, especially in its position, that maybe you are moving on from a relationship or perhaps an involvement. Something is coming to a close and you're ready to move on. The moon and coffin can mean the end of a cycle. And I would say, thanks to these very beautiful cards, Lapis, you have completed something very successfully. So really, you've brought something to a head. You've made a major achievement. You've achieved the goals. You've checked off the boxes. This is some significant achievement that is coming your way in the form of a blessing. But I also think that the blessing is on the other side of this completion. The blessing also comes in the ability to move on to something new. And this can feel very engaging. And I think you have a strong sense of satisfaction from your sense of accomplishment. So some very strong cards here that really give you a sense of purpose. Let's move on to the columns. We've got the Stork Garden and Sun. This can mean a change of atmosphere, a change of environment, but I also think that you're in for a lot of fun and activity. You definitely want to take the time to get involved, to discover, to seek out. It's a bit like what we're seeing with the ship, the idea of venturing out. Definitely a time to get out. I'm also getting a sense of nature. There's a strong call by nature here. We've got the garden, the mountain, the tree, the ship. These are all outdoor kind of cards, but in contrast with the house, but there's more of them. So again, I'm feeling this sense of renewed energy, renewed enthusiasm, re-engagement. It's definitely a good time for this. Mountain, heart, and ring is possibly about love and relationships, but with the mountain, it can be someone in another place. And so this idea of pursuing this new kind of connection, the sense of belonging, maybe that's what's happening for some of you Lapis folks. Maybe you are making changes, picking up and pursuing, going after that love, that relationship. Maybe that's what you need to do. You need to make changes in order to make this relationship happen. That can very well be for some of you. And if it isn't about relationships, although I really feel it is about pursuing those things that make you happy more consistently, not just on a one-off kind of basis, but really committing to the things that make you happy and making changes to make that happen. And also moving past any obstacles or blockages that could be in this way. And you know what? This is very much a message coming through as well. I think another blessing or a blessing along those lines is that you're able to unblock. You're able to unblock yourself and get going with whatever it is. Those new goals, this relationship, pursuing the things you love. There is a sense of, that's it, I'm gonna do something about this now. And this is a very great blessing, Lapis, the idea of moving from thinking or stalling into action. Beautiful. The lily tree and key is achieving a very important goal. This is a very important milestone that you've just achieved, Lapis. So really the message of achievement is very much in your cards. And the thing about the tree and key is that it's a special combination that points to achieving a very important goal. And when I see this with the lily, it's very clear to me that this is about something big, either related to your career long-term, your life, or it can point to a certain chapter that comes to completion, a major milestone along the way in your life. Very, very beautiful and powerful cards. The child, house, and moon can point to a new home. Again, there is this idea that you could be moving. We've got the coffin on the other side of the house, the child on top of the house, and the ship as well. So it's possible that you're moving to a new place. This is a big one. And also, you could be invited to be part of something or to someone's home. Intimacy and, close moments with someone are possible, and also fun and invitations are possible through this triplet in the same way that we saw in the first column. So the idea of being with someone, being with some people is highlighted, but also I'm seeing a sense of warmth, like a sense of being part of something, nice and sweet. And just like we saw in the second row here, I'm seeing a sense of belonging. Very beautiful. Ridership and coffin is clearly an ending, so I'm seeing another sense of achievement here. Just like we saw with the stork and coffin and rider and sun, the ridership and coffin points to achieving, arriving, completing. It's like the journey has completed and has ended. This is very clearly coming through the rider and ship along with the coffin. Now, sometimes this can be a combination that refers to postponing a trip. But honestly, I'm not picking this up as the main interpretation because everything else in here points to changes and new chapters and new opportunities. So this is very much about bringing something to a head and achieving a very important goal, like we saw in several combinations, really, not just the tree and key. And I think you are now in a position to move on to something else. So a key blessing, or the main blessing that is coming to you, Lapis, in addition to a few really, is that you're able to bring something to completion. And this is a major milestone and a major point in your life, in your path, that demarks an important ending. And from this point on, you're able to make changes. I also think that you can feel free and relieved from this completion. So it feels like a major accomplishment and also something that you can put behind you now and move on to something else. Relationship and involvements and new goals are all possible. House moves are possible. There's quite a lot of possible scenarios that can play out for you with this completion. It might depend on your specific, or maybe this is something that is happening broadly in your life in general. So very exciting changes and, enthusiasm and a sense of well-being and re-engagement very clearly coming into your cards. Now we can also look at a few other indications. We've got the diamonds, we've got the heart, lily, house, and key. This is interesting because it can point to real estate and property through the key and house. And with the heart and lily, you could find the right home, or maybe something like a real estate deal comes through, or perhaps more broadly, your home life, and your lifestyle are very rewarding. And the garden, lily, ship, and key is very much opportunity and new projects that open up for you, and also that sense of achievement. I think you could also get some recognition for all of this. The sun and garden might point to that. The key and garden might point to that, along with the lily and ship. I feel that because you've achieved something so great, it's possible that you're appreciated for it. And, you could have some degree of popularity with this. But really the key is this demarc point of achievement, of completion, of successfully bringing something to a head, and now being able to move on to more exciting goals, other goals, engaging in relationships, friendships, making changes in all sorts of ways. So there's lots of blessings coming your way, Lapis group, and I want to remind you how positive all of these cards are. But I think really the key is this sense of completion, this achievement. That is very clearly at the center of everything else that could be coming your way as well. This is the key. So let me know how you like these ideas. Let me know your thoughts. I'm really looking forward to your comments. And until we meet again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and take very good care of yourself. Okay, Feather Group, here we are with your reading and Titania's deck. And I've been doing 3x5 portraits, but I want to do an extended diamond for you, Feather Group. I'm just so inclined. I just feel I want to do this layout for you, for your reading. So the deck is always shuffled between layouts, and I'm good to deal out your cards. Let's go right ahead and do that. Okay, Feather Group, here we are with your extended diamond. So the way I've laid it out is just like a normal diamond, but there's just some overlap between the cards, so it might look a little bit different than you might have seen in other videos. So what is the blessing that is coming your way, Feather Group? There are some interesting messages here. You're the only layout that has a couple of challenging cards. We've got the whip in your cards as well as the snake. This combination here stands out to me because the bird and whip is typically associated with gossip. And I'm also seeing the letter and I'm also seeing the snake. So there can be some messages that you come across. Now remember, this is about the blessings that are coming your way. So this is going to come to your advantage and not so much be a challenge. We also have the man card. And so I really think that this is about a person and some communication with a person. Now at the center of your extended diamond, we have the bear. The bear is a card that makes everything big and important. So whatever is coming your way in terms of news or information, or you becoming aware of some gossip or some things that are being said, this is going to be important for you. There's quite a few communication cards in your spread. We've got the book, letter, bird, and along with the whip, there is some indication of things that are being said. I'm also inclined to look at the corner cards right from the get-go. We've got the house and the lily, and I feel that this could refer to the job, and it can also refer to where you live. And we also have the man and letter as the two other corner cards here. So I feel, Feather Group, that you're in for some news. This news can affect your job or your work or possibly your business, depending on how you operate. But I really think that this is news that is something that you hear, as opposed to it being official news or news that's like out there or news that comes to you. I think this is about really coming through a secret. The book is a card of mysteries and things being closed off. So I think that here there's going to be a revelation. So with this said, let's get into the main rose and then build the diamond. We've got the tree and book along with the bear, bird, and whip. So the tree and book, I would normally take to represent knowledge in terms of learning. So like education kind of knowledge. And with the bear, it does prove to be something that is really good for you, something that enables you to grow. That's because the bear is a card of influence and authority. On the job, it has to do with management. It has to do with a sense of power overall. But with the bird and whip, I think it's more about coming across certain information or some knowledge or some gossip, or you hear something about someone or possibly from someone. Pretty clear to me that this man has something to do with it, and it's important information. The thing about the bird and whip is that I think it warns against relaying this information or gossiping about it. And the reason I say this is because we have the snake in the cards. But mind you, I think this is information that advantages you. We've got the key snake and then the bear, tower, and ship. Now the bear and tower and ship is very much about growth, promotion, a sense of empowerment. And so I think that you could be in Feather Group for the next level. You could have the favors of management. But the thing about the key and snake is that it is not something that is yet official, or it's just something that you've come across, it's something that you heard. Someone has shared with you this secret or this information about what could be in the cards for you. And this really comes through here. And when I look at these diagonals with the bear in them, it does really support the idea of work and your career. The bear and lily is sometimes associated with legal matters, but I really think that in this context, it's more broadly the idea of something official. And with the house here, it can point to management like we suggested. And so I think that you could be in for growth and promotion. And with the man, bear, and letter, this news comes from someone important. The man and bear himself can be that manager or that level of authority, or someone who is in a position to make decisions, to relay the news, and to do any number of these things that affect you in this way. So I would say, Feather Group, stay tuned to this news or this piece of information that you're going to have access to. It's going to advantage you in a way that promotes your growth, whether this is on the job or elsewhere. I have to say, Feather Group, that the cards can point to home, family, and parents. The bear is typically associated with the mother, the house is typically associated with the father, and the lily here can point to older people as well as the tower. And so I feel that the focus on your parents or seniors in your life can be highlighted. And if that's the case, again, the same idea applies, except specifically in that context. The idea that you come across some important information, perhaps there is gossip or something that is revealed sort of behind the scenes, and you come across it, and it does give you an advantage, I feel, regardless. Another way I feel the cards advantage you is really coming through the bear. The bear can sometimes represent competition. And so I think that with the gossip or this information that you come across here, you could learn something about your opponent or your competitor, and that gives you an advantage. Definitely you want to keep this under your hat. The snake is very clear about the sense of secrecy along with the book and tree. So be careful with this information, Feather Group. It puts you on a different kind of level playing field, I would say. So be sure you treat this information wisely. And I would also add that if there is noise and gossip going on around you, like what is possible here through the bird and whip, I would say stay away from it. You want to use the snake's energy of just being quiet and observant in order not to get too involved or not to get involved prematurely, and also to not give away the fact that you're aware of what's going on. An additional way we can look at these cards, Feather Group, is by parsing them into these groups of 4 here. So they sort of highlight some themes. Obviously, this is the standout group of cards, I would say. We have the communication cards, the letter, bird, and whip, very much pointing to gossip or some information that you come across. And the lily here points to anything related to work or your professional environment, but also your life and lifestyle in a broader sense. Now, I would say that this information is pretty important, Feather Group. It does affect your work or your career or your life as a whole. So be watchful of how you treat this information, how you get involved with it, and also watch the people who are relaying this information. I would also add that you want to stay away from gossipy environments, just like we suggested. You don't want negative energy. You don't want negative influences. So if there is something like that going on around you, just make sure you are aware, you observe, and you step away from it. In here, we've got the cards around the man and the house, tree, and book. So again, this can point to knowledge and learning. Maybe you're working on some personal development path, you're expanding your education, you're growing, and certainly this is something that can help you move into this next level like we see in the central row. The house, key, letter, and snake, this group of cards here is very much about coming through this information. The key is a very positive card that points to success and important revelations. But again, with the snake, you want to be discreet about this. And the house can refer to that context, whether it's work or home and family. There is different contexts that can be represented by the house. It's going to depend on your specifics. And in the bottom set of cards here, the last group at the bottom, we've got the man, tower, ship, and lily. Again, I feel this can be a professional environment and a sense of growth, projects that affect your long-term path, and also open up doors for success. The ship is a very positive card. It brings in rewards. It's very positive for return on investments. But the Tower and Lily are long-term cards. So this can be a long-term commitment, a long-term pathway that you move into, and certainly that this man has an impact. And certainly this man can be in a position to influence your success and your pathway in this sense. So overall, Feather Group, I fear that the blessing that is coming your way is you accessing certain information, but it's certainly information that you want to handle carefully. It can be gossip, it can be something that rocks the boat a little bit, but whatever it is, or whichever way it is packaged, it does advantage you. And it seemed to come from or be connected to this man here who seems to be in a position to help you grow onto the next level. You could also gain advantage over your competition. And certainly with the bird and whip, it can cause this kind of confrontational or competitive kind of energy. But because of the bear in the center of your extended diamond, I really think that you're the one who has the upper hand in this. And certainly with the snake and key. So you could be in a position to strike, Feather Group. You could be in a position to make a move that is somewhat heavy-handed and that puts you on this position of advantage. So how you're going to do this, if you're going to do this, you have to manage this with care and with wisdom, but you are certainly in a position to grow and to pursue your ambitions and your next level of growth. If you need to do some studying, you might want to do that. If you need to consult someone who's expert or someone who's more senior, then go ahead and do that. And it might happen in the context of home and family. So in this case, again, there is some information that you come across, but you want to handle it with care because it might cause conflict or issues that come up. I can't dismiss the possibility that maybe there's a reason why these things need to come up. Sometimes they need to surface over and be dealt with because that's the only way forward. But I'm going to leave this up to you to judge on your based on your specifics. But overall, Feather Group, the blessing that is coming your way is you being able to move up to a position of power, a position of advantage, possibly advantage over someone else, over a competitor or some other kind of person who operates or entity that operates in your environment. I would also suggest that you be open to the connection here that you have with this man. It's important to respect the chain of command, to respect people's expertise, to learn from others as you need to, and do your part to seek answers, delve into the information. It's going to be important for you as you move up to this position of power. And so you need to also treat this with wisdom and to be up to the level, if you see what I mean, Feather Group. So do your part as well. And when it comes to noisy environments, gossipy environments, or people who try to rock the boat, I think you need to be tuned into what's going on here and clued into what's being said. But this is different from being directly involved. The suggestion to you, Feather Group, is that you observe and you be aware, but you don't get involved with this kind of commotion here. Instead, you could be in a position to strike. So be sure you are watchful of this. Maybe you need to time this right. And you need to make sure that it's heading in the right direction. So that's part of the wisdom bit, that you know what is your competition, what you're dealing with, that if you're going to strike or make a move, you know that you're doing it in the right context or against the right person, against the right competition. So some very interesting dynamics that are happening here, you Feather Group. I want you again to focus on treating your position of power with wisdom and knowledge. So be sure you gather the tools for this, you gather the knowledge. And when it comes to home and family, do your part to communicate well. And also don't shy away from confrontations. I have to say that is a possibility in your cards, but it doesn't mean that you need to back away. The bear is very strong. It is a kind of card that stands its ground. We also have the tree and the house and the tower, and we're just missing the mountain, and we have all of the cards that point to the sense of standing your ground. Oh, and the anchor. standing your ground and being strong relative to your position. So I'm not saying that you should compromise. Maybe you do things a little bit in an indirect way because of the snake or because of the gossip here. Maybe there is that, but I think you need to stand by your commitments, by your goals, and to be ready to confront some competition or make a move against them. And I certainly think you are in a position of power. So the blessing that is coming your way, Feather Group, is clearly being in a position of power and in a position of advantage, even to the extent of being able to strike or make a move against someone else. So let me know how this plays out for you. It is certainly a very unique set of cards across several readings and pick-a-cards that I've done. I'm really looking forward to your feedback. And very good luck with it. Again, use wisdom as much as needed. So very good luck with this again. Let me know how it plays out. And until we meet again, as always, thank you so much for watching and take very good care of yourself.